That actually was the fault of my grandfather. I would say he was working as a healer for more than 40 years. It was normal for us kids to go to him if we had any problems, pain or a cough or a cold or something. And we're going there, he was rubbing the hands and speaking a prayer to Jesus or something. We couldn't understand it really, but then his hands got warm and the problems went away. And people from hospitals called him, doctors called him when they couldn't stop bleeding or couldn't stop pain after operation. My grandfather was speaking a prayer for a few minutes and the pain went away and the blood stopped. So we realized there is something there. We didn't understand as a kid or a youngster really, but we realized it definitely works. And that was one part where there was kind of the base. Then I came to a also kind of a coincidence to a shamanic congress near Salzburg. And I was there only for 2 days and it blew my mind what happened there, what I experienced there in 2 days. And I was there with no knowledge. I didn't know what meditation is. And things happened. It's hard to explain. And then the way started and one came to the other. I mean, it's also, again, what I experienced with the grandfather. I mean, there we just realized it so many times, and people called him from other countries sometimes even, and sometimes offered him big amounts of money for help when he could help take away headaches or migraines people had since the 10, 20, or 40 years. And just with this healing work, it went away. Or they were proving him for like getting rid of water veins and electrosmog in houses, and they were measuring it, and the problems were gone. So this was one part, and then my own experience, of course, then started to go after I did all these courses, and an interesting thing was when I was working as a healer, the way I'm working now with the soul language and everything. A natural therapist sent me a lady and he was treating her, and he said, I can't help you if you don't go to Michael and get your karma cleared. And she didn't want to come to me, and she took all the medicine he gave her. And after a month or two later, when the medicine was finished, she made an appointment again, and he said, did you go to Michael to clear the karma stuff? She said, no. He said, then the medicine didn't help. It's totally useless. If you don't go to Michael, you don't need to come to me anymore. And then she called and said, oh, I'm sorry, he said I have to come to you, but I didn't come. I thought it's rubbish, but he doesn't take me anymore if we don't clear the energetic karma blockages I have. And he just could realize it, but he couldn't clear it. So she came to me, and she had relationship problems since years and years, and she was a very experienced healer herself and a yoga teacher, and had many other experiences and seminars done. And she had one session with me, the problem was gone. And there are many, many things like this. Like my wife had a hip pain for years before I got to know her. And then we had one morning experience where we did some forgiving work. And from 1 second to the other, the pain and the hip was gone. And it never came back.
Wow.
And I had people, they had knee problems or ear problems. And after a 10-minute clearing in a soul language seminar where I cleared them, they finally could jump again, yeah? Or they finally could hear again. Said, my God, my hearing went away 10 years ago. I only could hear in one ear, and now it's back.
Wow.
So I had many, many experiences like this, and that is crazy, yeah? And then you just, you don't believe, then you know. I usually get people, not very new ones. I get people who are already on this searching way a couple of years, and people who have been already doing yoga and meditation and maybe went to a shaman or to other treatments or to do some own healing practices. Like people who already somehow experienced more or less in this energetic work and realize I still have a problem and I can't solve it with all the things I learned and all the courses I've done and all the other people couldn't help me. Then they sometimes realize, okay, now we need to see this crazy guy. He seems to do something different. And then I can help them. Very often it's difficult for people because sometimes I have a crazy way of working, and some people, I have to tell them, please don't get afraid. It's all good. Don't run away. You know, I mean, online they can't run away anyways, or they could, yeah. And it works then. And then they experience, wow, what else is possible after the things I know already. That's a big mix. Like actual, the last treatments I had, there was people, they had relationship problems with their ex partner, man or woman, and had problem with some officials in related to those relationship problems. Then I have problem people with problems with mother, father, or people problem don't come in, like if they can't get in their power to say, I tried so many things to stop my old job and do the new thing, and it seems like something is pulling me back. And then I have people, they have problem with their house and say, it's kind of a haunted house. I hear noises, or there's a room or in the cellar. I'm really afraid to go down there. It's really weird down there. And people with some pain in the body, they can't solve. And like they went to different doctors and said, you just imagining something. There is nothing there. And then in many cases, I see there's like a knife sticking back there, or they got chopped off their head in a former life somewhere, or they get burned as a witch, or other things like this. And very often, or normally, it's always like this. There's a past life where the reason, the source for the problem is located. And sometimes people see it then when you work with them, and they get sometimes a picture, think, oh my God, I see here, I got burned or killed or something, or they did something bad, like very often for business, when it doesn't run. It's very often that in a past life, they were a really mean person that took away money of somebody else. And other people got problem, or even they lost their whole family and lost their whole business. And then they just said, and you should never be successful anymore. And they maybe used some black magic energy. And this is working then now in this life. And then it just, whatever people start, it doesn't go anywhere. The mindset and so doesn't help them if there is from black magic and stuff like this, or death experience from past lives there. So people always have this as a background. Oh, thank you. That's a good question. I do one important thing. I mean, behind me you see this kind of this holy Buddha secret picture. Yeah, I have plenty of them around, from Christianity, from Hinduism, from Buddhism, and I believe that we are not alone in this planet. And I believe that all these creatures, when you talk about Jesus or angels or whatever, for me, invisible beings, I believe that they are there. And I know plenty of people who can see angels and things like this. And I call them, and I have a special ritual to call all these lightful helpers, lightful beings, lightful guides, however you want to call them. And I call plenty of them from all directions of belief systems. And then I just feel, and the people in the other room feel, like if I do treatments via Zoom, they sit in America or they sit in Brazil or in Germany, they feel it finally changes around them. They feel it's somehow softer and it's warmer and it's more comfortable and it feels somehow protected and more loving when I call these lightful beings to their place. And I do it in a seminar, of course, as well. And when I work then with the people, then these lightful beings, these helpers, they do their job. They do things I don't have a clue at all what they are doing. They know things I don't know, I never heard of, I don't see. But finally, some people feel, something is touching them here or there, and it feels like something is taken away. And I'm not working there, I'm working somewhere else on the body. So then there's one of these lightful beings who does it. And I had once, I went to clear a house to a shamanic woman And she could see, but I didn't know. And she couldn't solve the problem in their own house. And I went there. She opened the door, and I came there with my suitcase and the dowsing rod and pendulum and all these things, yeah. And then she was looking, and she said, "Who else is coming with you?" And I said, "Oh, can you see it?" Because I called all these lightful helpers, you know. She said, "Oh my God." And she was just staring. And I went in, and she kept the door open for at least another half a minute till everybody was in, and then she closed the door and still was looking like this. Oh, so, wow, that's cool. She can see who are brought with to do the work. You know? And this is a big part. And the other part is the soul language. The soul language, light language, or talking in tongues, there are different words to it. It's well known in America by the Native American Indians, and the Christian church knows about it, and all the ones living in Utah know about it. They have it as one belief system. They believe in the talking in tongues, the Mormons, and this talking in tongues is known around the whole planet. It seems to be the oldest language, the original language, where I feel I'm guided by divine spirits, by higher spirits. I feel the light is flowing through me, and then I'm kind of online. And in that state, I touch certain things and get kind of guided, and it's not me anymore. And with these things, I would say, with these two special helping tools, things are possible, treatments and success is possible, was normally not possible. That used to be before COVID. Everybody had to come to see me. I'm living near Salzburg, so they had to drive 1 hour or 8 hours if they came from Luzern at the end of Switzerland or whatever, or from Hamburg or from Holland. And to seminars as well, because till then, my belief was it only works live. My belief was that if people have like evil energies on them, or contracts with the devil themselves, or problems with aliens, I have people like this as well, like real science fiction stuff. I was worried that if I do it online, that these energies kind of were hiding or running away or disappearing or something, and I can't get them. And I was worried that people kind of maybe drift away and I can't get them back to consciousness to work with them. But then COVID came, and I realized I get no money anymore and no food anymore. I have to do something. And it was a funny coincidence. We got locked up in a 4-star hotel because a friend of us owned a 4-star hotel, and said, "Come on, Michael, with the family. We have food till the end of the season, and we had to scare away all the guests. Eat all this stuff, otherwise you just throw it away." And I was there with my family for 6 weeks. And there were 4 other German healers there as well who work online stuff. And they showed me what they do, and I realized, okay, I gotta try it. So COVID was good in that case to do a new step. And then I realized I can teach soul language online. And then I did treatments online, and I realized it doesn't matter if people have problems with evil spirits or aliens. I have plenty of people with that mad stuff. I could cure them. I could help them. And then the whole thing started, and now I do 95% online because people can join from all over the world. It's cheaper for them. They don't have to travel here. And yeah, that's it. It works. It works the same way. It's amazing.
And it is really possible you can really actually learn the soul language.
Yeah, I can teach people the soul language. It even got that far now that I thought I have to try if I record a pre-recorded video where I imagine to speak to the people who will watch it then in the future sometime, and clear them there, do the energy clearing on them, clear the blockages of them, because the soul language is in everybody already grounded. You just need to get rid of the blockages, then it comes out. So I did these pre-recorded videos and seminars now, where I clear the people on this video, and then the other sessions are to learn the soul language without me being live with them. And even that works. Almost everything. I mean, I had, like I said, I had regular people with pain in the back, pain in the neck, whatever. And this I can solve by just do a little movement and speak it like it sounds, for example. There was kind of sound, noise, and then things fall off. And they can be for like things from past life, knives, or here or there, cut the head off and stuff like this. When they have some fear, I can talk to their soul and explain them. And then look, schema, they and deal with a what they meant, they know my. A shade or any more delia, a shade or more leave and the shade more there. And the over may be a joy the body, joy of the say, joy the way it may have. And this kind of gives the people then a trust, and they can open their heart. This is, yeah, there's like a very loving energy. It can be used when they have fear or worries or not being loved by mom or by partner or whatever. It's the whole variety, and it's like when there are evil energies there, you know, or alien energies, like everybody who has seen Lord of the Rings, the elves, the one with the bow and arrow, they speak this language. The movie makers know about it, they just don't tell you it. And the bad creatures, the evil ones, the dark ones, the bad ones who want to destroy the world, they speak this language as well. And if you watch the movie, you will realize that sound doesn't sound nice.
Yeah.
So I speak it, depends to who, in different variety. So if I speak to evil energies, it would sound totally different. And if you're not afraid, you're a lovely person, watch the video, I do this. It sounds, for example, like that. Then you feel, oh, that sounds very. And I feel energy is going through me, and I'm heating up in seconds. And that energy, I can speak to evil energies or alien energies, and it's their language, what they understand. Oh. And of course, I can't speak very long like this. After 5 minutes, I lose my voice. But it's usually in a few minutes. It's everything said, what needs to be said. And they understand what's going on. And it doesn't need to be said another time. And they go out of the aura, out of the house, wherever. And the lightful beings then take them and bring them there where they belong. I don't need to know where their home is, in which dimension or whatever. I don't bother about this. The lightful beings then take them, and the thing is done. The dimension hole is closed. The connection there is closed. Maybe one more I also have, and this also, it goes in a really crazy direction. Maybe 70% of all the customers I have, they are therapists themselves. Maybe just a little bit as a hobby, or some do it professional, yeah, men and women from everywhere. And many of them did it in past lives as well, of course. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the ability. And many of them had in one life, somewhere in Avalon, Lemuria, Atlantis, or wherever, medieval age, I don't know, had contact to the dark side, to the evil side. And many of them still have a contract with the devil himself, where they sold the soul or a part, or gave some, had an acceptance, had a contract, that they get some power, that they get something to do something. And the evil, the devil, the other side, has the ability to get hold of them. And I have plenty of people who have this problem. They just don't know, of course. They just know I have some problems and I don't get there, but something seems to be wrong. I don't get forward in life, my business or relationship or my health. Something is holding me back. Something is controlling me. Something is always bringing me to the problems. And very often is that. And then I can speak also to him, that man from the dark side, the devil himself. And at the beginning, it was very often screaming. And now it's very often I can talk regularly in the regular language and in soul language and get the people to talk to him. And they feel then, oh, he's here. They feel it finally. And then we can clear these old contracts and give everything back to him, they got from him, and take everything back he took of the people, and then finally come in power again. And this is normally where people get set free of things they couldn't solve for the last 20, 30, 40 years. And another very important thing I can do with my work is the whole COVID story. The PCR test or vaccination, this is, like many people realize now, very, very, very harmful for people. Many people died already because of that. And I have a chance with my work to get this stuff out of people who came in there and therefore can solve the problems people had. And this works in many, many, many cases. And this, of course, is a big benefit I can offer people as well. I never wanted to deal with this stuff. You know, there was not a manifestation thing that I think that's my job. But I just got into it with houses first, where the thing was there, and then I had people, and I had one lady from Tyrol, and she came and she lost weight and weight and got thinner and thinner, and she realized something is taking away her energy. And then she came for a treatment with her husband, and then I started to work on her, and finally a demon voice was screaming out of her, I'm stronger than you, you will never get me. I thought, oh shit, what's going on here now? And then I was working at the time with my wife, and then we had the husband holding her. They hold her that she can't run away. We went to the other room and said, what do we do now? They okay, have to call the lightful beings again, go really in our power and do it. And then we went in, and I started to shout at her and scream at her like I did before, you know, and got the thing out of her. And she was screaming and fighting and tried to get away. And I finally got the demon out of her, and the thing was gone. And I had this a couple of times with people live where I got frightened because they got arms like this, that really blew up. I thought, shit, if he's jumping on me now, this guy, he can kill me in the power. And I got this energy out of them. And I have people also with this alien extraterrestrial stuff. Some of them, they realize they get an operation at night. They realize they wake up, they see the beings there, and they can't move, they're numb. And in the morning, they have scars on the body. Seriously, I had them from Austria, from Germany, people like this. And I could help them. One I was live there, and one just online. And had a few other ones who wasn't that bad, but still. And these energies are there, and there's lots of literature about this around the internet, that these beings exist. And of course, there are bad ones there, and there are good ones who help us. And I work with the help of the good ones to get rid of the bad ones. And that works in houses and people every time. The COVID vaccination game. It started, I knew when I got to this spiritual theme, people talked about there will be the vaccination coming where the plan is to get a nanochip in all the people to track them and to manipulate them. I knew this 18 years ago when I started. And it just, I never knew when it's going to come. And when COVID hit, I knew, oh, now is the time. When they talked about vaccination, I knew now that's what's going to happen. It just was just a matter of time when it's come. And then I had 2020 in autumn, a first client, a lady from Tyrol. She used to be in one of my speeches. She says, Michael, I feel really terrible. I have headache, I have migraine, I have suicidal thought. I'm aggressive, I'm negative. I can't meditate and concentrate anymore. I feel terrible all over. And I said, okay, I can help you. And I did an online treatment via Zoom. And when I got to her head, I realized a black square in the back of the neck. And I thought, shit, it looks like a nanochip. But it looks different than the things the aliens do, because aliens put chips in the people as well, plenty of stuff actually. But they look different and feel different. And I realized that seems to be real. And I asked her, did you have one of these PCR tests, you know? She said, yeah. And after the second one, I feel all these terrible things. The first one had nothing. I said, shit, you have one of these chips. Well, some people talk about it, if that might be on the sticks, because these sticks are not to test. To test, you can take some things from the front of the nose. You don't need to stick it up your brain, you know? And then I was able to clear that. And finally, boof, she had white light in her head. And she could see it and I could see it. In the same moment, the thing disappeared in white light. Totally magical, maybe, if you want to say this, or divine. And in the same moment, all her problems were gone. And then I recorded a YouTube video and has more than 10,000 views now. And the people came from all over. Please, I have the same problem as told in this video. And I could help them all. And it was all online. Maybe a few people came direct. The rest was online. And the same thing is now with the vaccination. It's not fully health. That's for sure. Most people should realize that now. Yeah, there are millions of people died suddenly already about this after this vaccination, and they show, some doctors and scientists show now that there are nanochips and nanorobots in people from science fiction movies. James Bond is actually shown, the new James Bond. It shows exactly what's in the people with the blood picture. You can see it, and you just question if you believe it. But that's what got into people, and lots of other manipulation of DNA and so, and thoughts of people. And this is, in my opinion, evil. It's really, really, really bad. That's what I believe. And with my work, it is possible to help people in clearing. I can't guarantee, of course, for everybody, but the chance is big that it helps most of the people if I do it live on them, like a Zoom meeting, or even if they buy one of my videos, I recorded videos to them, where it happens automatically with their work as well, and it gets cleared out of them, cleansed. Like everybody who has problems that couldn't be solved so far says, okay, I've tried this. I went to a doctor. I went to a brain doctor. I went to someone to sit on the couch and talk. Please, please, my mom and my dad, my child. And I went to shamans. We went to treatments to Brazil and to a healer in Russia. I have people like this that travel the world seeking for help, and they finally ended up with me. And many of them I could help, thank God, I would say. So if people realize, if you realize, the person you watch it, I have a problem and I don't know how to solve it, then come and try. It can only get better.
Michael, that sounds very interesting, but please let us take a deeper look to the soul language. May you explain it more detailed for our audience?
At the end, it was, I was working as a healer, you know, and had different techniques. And then I thought it's too complicated. It takes too long. And then I said to God, I said, please, God, if you exist there, we are children of you. And Jesus said, we will do bigger wonders than he has done. I said, I want to see some of it. I want to experience some of it. I want to have something more powerful. And then very shortly afterwards, 2 women invited me to this soul language seminar, where I realized I get goosebumps if I look at the website about the soul language, the light language. And then I went there, and then I experienced this special thing for me. When my first words came out, I felt the kind of my crown chakra opened, and energy and light. I really realized light is flowing into me and through me. It opened my chest, my heart. I felt really bliss and love energy and felt like I'm 3-4 meters wide, just an open heart and love. And they came with this language when I first spoke the words. And then I realized this is a divine gift. And from there on, just the inner call was, I want to teach this to other people. Other people can speak this as well. That they have this ability as well. They have the experience as well. And that's why I'm doing now these seminars live or online in German and English. The people get the connection to it again because it's within all of us. And there's so much possible. Like I said, all these different healing possibilities for humans or even for animals. You can work with animals or with your plants to clear the energies in the house or in the garden. It's almost no limit, and including, of course, this COVID stuff. You can do so much with it, and it goes automatically. You combine it with all the technique. Like if people have already their healing techniques, it's just one other tool who works, and automatically out of them, we just realize it wants to talk through me. It doesn't matter what they do, if just massage a person, then just the blockages in the shoulder, they just go away in 1 minute instead of 10 minutes. So it's a divine gift.